In today's video, we'll see some of the most shocking looking and bizarre creatures from the deep sea. I've also noticed that most of you watching this aren't subscribed yet, so if you do like the video, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's absolutely free and you can always change your mind later. And with that said, enjoy the video. Number 10. The Goblin Shark. Goblin sharks are one of the most shocking and disturbing creatures of the deep sea. They're called living fossils and their appearance can attest to their long evolutional history. The pink-skinned animal has a long flat snout and a high jaw with nail-like teeth. Its size can grow as big as 4 meters in length, and they can be found at a depth of 100 meters and are believed to have the ability to dive to depths of 1,300. Their diet mainly consists of fish, squid, crabs, and other cephalopods. Although their appearance can be horrifying, there has been no known attacks on humans. Their scientific name, Mitsukurina otswani, is a homage to Japan where sharks are usually found, and I probably mispronounced that. The reproduction of the goblin shark still does remain a mystery as no pregnant females have ever been found. Needless to say, this upper, deeper sea dweller shark is a reminder of Earth's ancient creatures. Number 9. The Ghost Shark. Ghost sharks are distant cousins of modern-day sharks and rays. They're believed to come from a line of fish that swam with the dinosaurs 400 million years ago. Although they aren't as massive nor as spectacular as some shark species like the great white, finding one always brings excitement to the scientist's life. Hailing from the Chimera family, ghost sharks are the dead-eyed, dull-colored ghosts of the ocean. They're also known by other names such as spookfish, ratfish, or rabbitfish, and are known to be extremely elusive. There's a pattern of line canals in the shark's head that contain sensory cells, and these cells help them navigate and find their prey in the dark waters where visibility is at an absolute zero. Their diet consists mainly of mollusks, worms, and other sea-bottom dwellers. They live in most parts of the world except the Arctic and Antarctic regions. The fish likes to mate during the spring season, and then the incubation of their egg takes about 8 months before a new generation of this ancient sea creature is born. Number 8. The Barrel Eye. Barrel eye fishes are some of the most shocking sea creatures that you're ever gonna see in your life. With its transparent head and barrel-like eyes, it's definitely not your ordinary run-of-the-mill fish. Their most prominent feature, aside from their heads being transparent that is the tubular shape of their eyes, hence their name. They live in the depths of about 400 to 2,500 meters, and scientists believe that their weird eyes and transparent heads allow them to perceive light much better, thus giving them a slight advantage when it comes to hunting in the dark. The barrel-eye fish wasn't even known to humans until 1939, when it was pulled from its habitat 762 meters below the surface. Even then, the specimens were less than ideal because they collapsed in the pressure changes from deep to shallow. Now that researchers have access to deep-diving remotely operated vehicles equipped with lights and cameras that can withstand the pressure, they're able to observe the barrel eye far more closely. Yet still, this odd fish still holds many secrets, leaving scientists puzzling over its life cycle and reproduction patterns. Number 7. Blood-red jellyfish. Floating and pulsating like lava in the ocean, the blood-belly comb jellyfishes are truly a sight to behold. First discovered in 1979, they swim and live at the depths of 400 to 1,000 meters. They're usually 15.2 centimeters in length, which is basically the extent of what we know about them. In the darkness of its habitat, stealth is key, and the jellyfish's transparent red hue allows it to blend in with the environment. Their blood-red bodies also mask the light emitted by the small bioluminescent creatures that they consume, making sure that they remain invisible to the naked eye. They're usually found in the cool deep waters of Canada, California, and Japan. As I mentioned though, scientists don't really know a lot about the blood-red jellyfish, making them one of, if not, the most mysterious creature of the deep sea. Number 6. The Glass Octopus. Glass octopuses are prime examples of Mother Nature's brilliance. It's a deep-sea dweller that's so rare, scientists consider themselves lucky if they find one. They live in depths of around 900 meters, a place that sunlight can't penetrate. This sea creature is about 45 centimeters in length and is so transparent that it appears almost colorless. You can actually see through its eyes and even its digestive tract as well. The mother octopus broods hundreds of eggs inside her mantle cavity to keep them safe from predators, keeping them protected until they hatch. Today, little is known about glass octopuses, and scientists aim to understand them more in their natural habitat. Given where they live, that could be a daunting task, however. That's why expeditions with deep-sea rovers and high-spec cameras are essential in understanding how these rare cephalopods live. Number 5. The Giant Phantom Jellyfish. Ancient tales of mariners tell us about giant creatures attacking ships and pulling sailors to their doom. While most point to the giant squid and the colossal squid as their origins of these tales, there's one giant creature from the deep that could also be a candidate for a legendary sea monster. That is the giant phantom jellyfish, known in the scientific community as Stygiomedusa, which is a 10-meter-long stingless jellyfish that is so rare there's actually only been about 110 recorded sightings since its discovery in 1899. The gelatinous composition of its body helps it survive the water pressure in these depths, which can be as high as 5,800 pounds per square inch. And like with most jellyfishes, its long drape-like arms are thought to be used to cling on to struggling prey. Number 4. Shape-shifting whalefish. So little is actually known about the lives of whalefish, and that's even after a century after their discovery in 1895. Their larval form, the males and the females, look so different from one another that scientists actually thought that they were 3 different species. First, there are the tape tails, scaleless larval forms with a long streamer-like tail and mouth that seem to have a comical overbite. They live and feed near the ocean's surface. When the time comes for these fish to assume their adult forms, 2 vastly different body shapes await them. If they're male, the tape tails become big noses. Scales sprout across their body, their mouths shrink to minuscule proportions as their jawbones waste away and their noses balloon outward. As they'll never feed again, their intestines, esophagus, and stomach all shrivel and disappear. Their chest cavity is instead filled by their sexual organs and a gigantic liver as an energy store. Basically, there you turn into nothing but breeding machines. Females, on the other hand, undergo a no less dramatic transformation. Their bodies expand to resemble a miniature baleen whale, growing to sizes far greater than their male counterparts, and they develop water pressure detecting lateral lines along their flanks to guide them through the pitch-black depths. Number 3. Vampire squid. Although not bloodsuckers, they sure do look the part. When it was first discovered in 1898 to 1899, the scientists mistakenly identified it as an octopus. However, when further studies were conducted, the scientists were shocked to witness this living fossil. A vampire squid can grow up to 30 centimeters in length, and its body varies in colors from jet black to having a pale reddish tint. This, of course, depends on lights and conditions. This cephalopod resides at a depth of 600 and 900 meters, where the habitat is described as the oxygen minimum zone. They have a very slow metabolism, and their body and blood were configured to maximize the delivery of oxygen. Aside from their appearance and rarity, they also have a unique form of reproduction. During mating, the male passes a sperm sac to the female, where she stores him until it's ready to be fertilized. It's believed that the female vampire squid broods for 400 days before the eggs hatch and become new vampire squids. Number 2. The deep-sea anglerfish. The anglerfish is one of the most horrifying creatures that you can encounter in the deep ocean. The species usually lives at depths of 100 to 3,000 meters, but are rare enough so that encounters with them are quite uncommon. Anglerfish actually exhibit extreme sexual dimorphism, with females larger than males. In fact, the average size of a female anglerfish is about 18 centimeters, while the male's average length is only about 3 centimeters. Sunlight or any form of natural light does not reach the depths in which this type of anglerfish resides, and because of that, they developed a luring mechanism where the luring apparatus emits a biofluorescent light that attracts the anglerfish's prey. Once the prey is close enough, the angler quickly lunges at it, finishing the job with its massive teeth. The lure of the female is also used to attract the male anglerfish. The male will then attach itself to the female using its tiny jaws and then commences to fertilize her eggs. After fertilization, the male's sole purpose in life is done, and he then becomes permanently attached to the female's body. If that doesn't sound terrifying enough, the body just kind of withers away while being absorbed by the female. Number 1. Deep-sea hagfish. When you say you're afraid of the creatures dwelling at the bottom of the sea, nothing discovered can be more terrifying than the deep-sea hagfish. They have a strange and slimy appearance with rows of sharp tooth-like structures protruding out of their mouths. They're the ancient of the ancients, as it was found that there was almost no change in their appearance since they were formed millions of years ago. They have a skull but no spine, but instead what they have is a skeleton made out of cartilage. This is similar to their cousins, the sharks and the rays. Their bodies are also equipped with dozens of glands that secrete slimy matter made out of sugar and protein. This slime keeps them from being targeted by predators. Mind you, that doesn't mean predators won't attack it, but when the hagfish is provoked, it can churn out 20 liters of slime, which is almost enough to actually choke out its predators. A species known as the Atlantic hagfish can survive and be found at depths of about 1,800 meters. They're known to be scavengers at times, but a hagfish will eat and burrow into dead animals, sometimes even live ones in the throes of death. They can even absorb nutrients through their skin, and as deep-sea scavengers, they play an important role in recycling the nutrients and bringing them back to the ecosystem. Thanks for sticking with me to the end, everybody. Like the video if you do, and leave a comment. Also, make sure to check out the channel's other amazing content. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Later, everybody.